Paradoxically, there are often problems in exactly those places where solar and wind power would already be profitable, even without state support, thanks to the favourable geographical conditions. What's lacking, though, is funding, and we need to enable financing options, particularly for especially vulnerable countries and population groups. We will therefore work with development banks and the financial sector to launch new investment. As the G7, we're committed to the industrial countries' goal of mobilizing $100 billion of climate finance as quickly as possible through to 2025. Germany wants to help reach this goal by providing at least €6 billion a year by 2025 at the latest. And I also want to reaffirm the industrial countries' joint pledge to double our contribution to adaptation finance by 2025. President El-Sisi, we want to work with you to find practicable solutions to deal with loss and damage from climate change. This will be a major issue at the upcoming climate change conference. As the G7, we've emphasized that we will not abandon affected citizens or states. By the time of the climate change conference, therefore, we want to establish a global shield against climate risks. The fact that many technological solutions are available now makes me feel optimistic. The priority now must be to put them into action around the world, because then, ladies and gentlemen, we will automatically do what I spoke about at the outset: link climate action and prosperity. And we will be keeping that great promise that has forever ensured that humanity advances to give future generations a good life in a world worth living in. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor to have the German Chancellor here at the Petersberger Klimadialog, and the same counts for the President of Egypt, President Al-Sisi. Very warm welcome again to the Foreign Ministry, and thanks for joining us here at the Petersberger Klimadialog high-level segment. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Federal Foreign Minister. Allow me to start with my remarks. Federal Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Excellencies, participants, I would like to express my gratitude to German Chancellor Olaf Scholz for convening this meeting, and I would like to highlight the leading role of Germany in fighting climate change and tackling its consequences. Germany is assuming a role that represents also its role at global level in order to support the fight against climate change and to achieve the just transition to a green energy sector. We are meeting today here at the Petersberg Climate Dialogue, and this is a demonstration of this commitment. And this dialogue has been one of the most important conferences over the last years in the run-up to the annual conferences of the parties, as it presents an opportunity for coordination and consultation between parties in order to achieve a consensus between the different parties regarding the different topics. Ladies and gentlemen, this year Egypt will be hosting the COP27 in the midst of a number of challenges, among them the current energy crisis, the food security crisis affecting several developing countries, the debt crisis, financing crisis, and also the repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic, and also the geopolitical consequence of Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine. And all of this is a huge responsibility for us as the international community in ensuring that our common vision will not be hindered, as we stipulated in the Paris Agreement and reaffirmed last year in Glasgow. And based on that, today I would like to mention several issues that Egypt, as the future COP presidency, deems important. First of all, scientific evidence shows that climate change has become an existential threat, and it does not allow any delay in the implementation of our commitments, since all of the parties have agreed to implementing these priorities, the objectives of the Paris Agreement targets. In alignment with the other international treaties and principles. One thing is also important. It is important to mention the principles of equality and collective action, but also differentiated action based on the different capabilities of the countries. And therefore, as future presidency of the COP27, we will ensure that this conference will be a turning point for global climate action, and that these actions will be implemented on the ground. So this is about building on the existing climate